Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your girl, Jewerly Bonney. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP10 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which has been doing very, very well since release. Today we're going into OP10. We're going to play a bunch of games today as we typically do. I'm going to show you guys my variation of Jewerly Bonney and see what we got cooking up here. Now, going forward, we are playing a green deck, right? So we have that toolbox approach, if you will. Bonney is going to be good as long as they keep printing out decent green cards. You know, we just got Smoker OP10, we just got Tashigi OP10. As long as they keep printing out decent green cards on top of Bonney's already very, very strong leader ability, this leader is probably going to be here to stay. Now, going into OP10, you guys will see new decks like Smoker, Law. These are probably going to be the best decks out of OP10. You have other off-meta decks like Caesar Clown, Sugar, for example. But you also still have to contend with some of the other decks from the previous meta and format like Shanks, Blackbeard coming back, Doflamingo is still here. Bonney still has very good matchups into a lot of stuff in today's metagame. Doflamingo, Teach, these are going to be the best decks in OP10. Unfortunately, you guys might have not seen Blackbeard a lot at your local scene, which is awesome. But going into OP10, this leader is going to be everywhere, Doflamingo is still going to be everywhere, and Jewerly Bonney is going to have to compete with some of the best, if not the best, leaders in today's format. Now, you may have noticed something here with this list. There are going to be some cards here that you typically don't run or don't see in Bonney, like Beji here, for example. And you also may have noticed we're only at 31 out of 51 cards. We'll get into it. With the Capone, this is a personal preference. I very much enjoy using this card in most of my green decks out there, specifically Jewerly Bonney. It's very, very cheap to play this card down. Inexpensive. Cheap blocker. You also can cheat it out with Eustace Kid 8-drop. And speaking of which, we've gained access to Tashigi in OP10. This is going to be another version of Rosinante, except for this works off effects, whereas Rosinante works off of KOs. So things like Red Rock, Gravity Blade, anything that has an effect that pops or kills a card, removes it from play, Tashigi can go ahead and rest this character and protect whatever character is being targeted, which is very, very good. Very similar to Rosinante, but being able to have Rosinante on board with a Tashigi on top of a Eustace Kid, this makes for a very, very difficult wall for your opponent to get over. And speaking of which, you only see Eustace Kid in this current list. Bonney, being a green deck, again, we have that toolbox approach, so we have numerous different ways of top end, and we'll get into that in a split second. Cavendish, Carrot. These are going to be some of your best 5-cost drops that you can play in this build, or in Bonney in general, on top of Smoker. Cavendish, no brainer. When it hits the board, you restand 2 Dawn. When this card swings, you restand 2 active Dawn. Very, very good. Your opponent's going to want to remove this on spot if they're able to. Carrot, going into OP10, this is still a very, very good card into decks like Blackbeard, Katakuri. This enables you to freeze the Jesus Burgess that are on board, allows you to freeze 7-drop Linlan and things of that nature. Smoker, of course. I personally like 2 to 3 copies in most of my Bonney decks, and I would implore you to not use more than 3, unless you guys have other means of having counter in your list, or you don't run a lot of top end. This is a very good card in the deck, it just has no counter. It's not searchable, but it's a smaller variation of Cavendish. When I say smaller, more so it does the exact same effect as Cavendish, allows you to restand Dawn, except for you only can restand 1 Dawn with this ability per turn. And it's not on play, so it's pretty good into decks like Blackbeard. It's very strong into yellow decks as well. On behalf, it has a banish ability when it swings, so do be mindful of that. Now let's go ahead and dive into the rest of this deck list here, and we'll talk about it. We'll play a bunch of games as we typically do, and we're going to talk about the elephant in the room first. We're only running 2 10-cost Doflamingos, which might be a little bit weird for some of you. We're also only running 1 Searcher, which again, might be weird for some of you. I personally have never been a fan of double searchers in any of my lists, whether it's Bonney, Yamato, what have you. This deck is no exception. Doflamingo is not going to be as valuable in OP10 as he once was before Teach was super popular. Because again, Teach does get a bunch of new stuff in O10, mainly Kuzan, so you will be seeing a lot more Teach at your local scene, regional events, bigger events. He's going to be running all over the place. So, having your top end full of Doflamingos, Eustace Kids, it's going to be very hard for you to get over Marshall D. Teach. Okay? A lot of your top end has that on playability, whether it's, again, Doflamingo or Eustace Kid. This doesn't have on play, but being able to slap down 10 cost Teach on board just enables Teach to be able to swing and bypass Kid and not have to pay attention to him. But more so with Doflamingo, if you have 4 copies of this in your deck and you're running into a lot of Blackbeard players, you're going to have a bad time, unfortunately. So I opted to run at least 2 copies. I would say 3 at most for some of you. 2, you're able to see it. You can't really search it out because we're not running the baby searcher. We're only playing with Jewerly Bonney here. But, you should be able to see this at least maybe once a game if you're lucky. If not, mulligan for it or try to search out for it in your opening hand against certain decks that you think you absolutely need to have it. Maybe against like decks like Law and Uta, very strong. Against Shanks, pretty good. Other than that, it doesn't really serve a purpose that I actually need to find and use this card. Very good into other decks like Katakuri and Enel. But again, Enel is not very much played right now into EBO2. Now, going forward, we are going to be utilizing Hody Jones. Of course, Hody Jones has that on-play ability as well, and on-play, Teach kind of turns it off, which in this situation is very good, because in Hody's case, you don't have to rip a life. You don't get the opportunity of resting characters on board, but you still get a rusher on board, and you don't have to rip life by being able to play him down, which is really, really good. Hody is going to be one of the best green printed cards, I think, going forward. And in any other matchup, this card is going to be just a given. He's very, very strong. Zoro, I opted to run 1. If my local scene decides to play a lot of Blackbeard, we might opt to run, a full play set. If I start seeing more Enels and BY Luffy's, we will opt to run more Zoros. Currently, I am just going to run 1 of these Zoros for the time being. Now, this is a very, very strong card, of course. If you can chain multiple Zoros back to back against something like Marshall D. Teach, all the power to you. Very strong card into that deck. But you also got to consider that people are still going to be running around with Shanks. Very strong leader, very difficult matchup for Jewerly Bonney. It's hard for her to beat this because you got to keep in mind we have cards like Eustace Kid, right? Which are very good into decks like Blue Doflamingo. But at the same time, utilizing Eustace Kid into Shanks is very difficult for you to win due to the fact of what Shanks has for top end. And we're talking about the 10 cost Shanks. This makes your Eustace Kid a 7k power, which is very easy for Shanks to get over and just delete. Now, how do we combat their Shanks? We use our own, which would be the 9-drop Shanks into Shanks to be able to pop Shanks. That was a lot of Shanks. Mind me. Now, the 9-cost Shanks here is going to be very, very strong into the red matchup. It's going to be very good into red decks in general, mainly because you can drop this prior to them dropping the 10-cost Shanks. If you go first, you can have this set up for later. You can go ahead and bait your opponent down by playing Doflamingo or Eustace Kid on board, getting them to smack into it, and perhaps maybe you have the counter to protect it for this turn. If you do, you have Shanks for the following turn to be able to pop this on board. This is going to be your win condition a lot of the times into this matchup, alongside of Hody Jones, of course, being able to just go face, clearing board, doing the thing. It's very, very good. Now, mind you, you might see the 5-cost Jewerly Bonney here and question why that is in this list, and that's also for this matchup. Being able to slow your opponent down from playing Shanks on board or playing down Rayleigh is very, very good, especially when you can go ahead and stall them out a turn. Jewerly Bonney helps you out in that matchup as well. And that's specifically the only reason why I decided to include her in the list. In decks like Marshall D. Teach, you're not really going to get off that on play, so that does suck. The other decks in the format that Jewerly Bonney does do well against is everything else outside of Marshall D. Teach, let's be fair. But as long as you guys can play around curve with Jewerly Bonney, this is going to be a very, very strong card. I don't typically run more than 2 and that's just me. It's just in particular matchups in which this is very, very good into. Yellow, so Katakuri and Nell, Shanks, and that's really about it right now for me personally. The 6-drop Basil Hawkins, or Basil Hawkins, depending on how you want to say it. This used to be a very, very good card. And it is a very, very good card, as long as you guys are not running into Blackbeard. Now, why is this card bad or not as valuable into Blackbeard? Well, that's because your boy has Liberation, and no matter how you want to try to cut it, it's not great. Just because simply Blackbeard can just remove it by going ahead and doing something like an Ice Age, or what's the other cost reduction I'm missing on top of my head right now? I know there is one. Or Tempest Kick. Just popping this or Tempest Kick on board, or even, they don't even have to do that. They can just go ahead and use Augur and then hit you with the Liberation to remove this for free. Because Liberation basically takes away all of your effects, which is not great. And it very much hurts you when you cannot... I can't search this for some reason. Every time I type Liberation in, this one pops up. But this just negates all your abilities. So Basil Hawkins doesn't get to use his effect at all. So there's that. In every other matchup in today's format, against Blue, against Rob Lucci, this is a very, very strong card still. Against things like Katakuri, a very, very strong card to play against as well, just because innately Kata swings for 7k. You really just block with Basil, give them a 1k counter, you're chilling. Everything else here is going to be Staple, or the shell of Bonney. All the top end, again, is just going to be depending on what your meta scene typically runs. But overall, I do hope you guys enjoyed this list. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today, and I'll see you guys in a split second. Let's get at it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with the Jewerly Bonney, playing into Trafalgar Law from OP10. This is a very, very fun leader to play. So I am going to be playing Law here as well. That'll come up here on the channel. I think we're going to be doing... probably Eustace Kid, right? I think we'll probably play Eustace Kid after Bonney for a little bit and see how I feel about that. Kid as a character, I don't really care for him. You know, I don't think a lot of us do, but, you know, each their own. After Kid, we'll probably do Law. I think Law is going to be a lot of fun to play, and this might be a leader in which I'll enjoy in OP10 as well. But currently, we're going to see what we can cook up here. This is a tough deck to beat. If you guys don't have the removal for all the characters he's able to cheat out on the board for free with his leader ability. I think I want to counter for this here, just to keep Bonney on board so I have another searcher. Yeah, that just happened. Wait, huh? I don't know why they decided to do that, honestly. That seemed a little silly. I don't know what the 3 Dawn would have changed anything there for you, but that's fair. I don't know. Yep. So we get Cavendish down. Sure. Probably plays that back on board. Yep. This deck is so fun, man. Alright, so we're on 5. We're going to drop down Cavendish as per usual. I can still get off a Searcher here, which isn't too bad. No Kid. I guess we're going to take the only thing that we possibly can. It would be the Capone. Okay, so we'll go 5 lead. I try to be as aggressive in this matchup as I can. I'm always going to be swinging face. I don't typically care about board a lot of the times in this match, just because we have access to things like Hody Jones and Zoro. But, mind you, we are only running 1 Zoro, and thankfully we ended up getting him in our opening hand here, so that's good. But Hody Jones kind of helps you out a lot against this deck, just because you can rest characters on board and smack into them, and stop him from using his leader ability, or forcing him to spend more Dawn to play characters down he didn't want to play. So, and then Carrot, of course, allows you to freeze characters on board. So his Cavendishes, his Law Blockers, all that good stuff. Because when he attacks, you can rest a Law Blocker, drop a Carrot on board, freeze a Law Blocker. It's a whole thing. Alright, draws another one. I think this is a pretty good card here in Law. It's interesting. Okay. We'll go ahead and rest the leader. I don't mind taking this hit here, really. Another Capone. Giving them a 2k is not worth it here. because they can just run into it with the Bonney if they really wanted to. So 6 Dawn here. What do we do? Another blocker, sure. That Bonney card is really good. I might try to play around with that in things like Vegapunk, for example. Or Katakuri. It's pretty good. Plays Bonney back on board, right? He'll probably freeze my Dawn here. Which is fine, because we go up to 6 instead of 7. I don't know if that would have been correct, because we don't really have anything that we play for 7 Dawn outside of Hody Jones, so maybe he's trying to plan for that. Because we would just rest both Bonney blockers and then go face. He has enough cards in hand probably to live out that turn. Ooh, very brave. Okay, so no Hody. Unfortunate. I think we just clear board here. Or at least try to clear board here. I need the 2k counter here. Nope. Drop the carrot down. If we play the carrot, we freeze Cavendish. We still leave a Dawn up. And then we gain 2 more Dawn with my Cavendish's swing. We can also attach Dawn here as well, and then still play down Capone, and then have 1 for Bonney ability. So this should be fine. This will force the block, or force cards out of hand. If we just go 6, he gives us 1 2k, so going 7 will force the blocker, I'd imagine. Nice. We'll play Capone down, we'll pass it over. Not bad, not bad. And if you notice, we also have Eustace Kid here with a very, very good board in hand. So we should be able to protect him as well with him not having an answer for it. Because I don't believe Law has removal pieces. Most of the stuff that he runs in the deck here is just going to be characters that he plays on board. He does have access to the big Law, things like the 8-cost Eustace Kid as well. And I've seen some Laws run Hody Jones. So he does have big boys. It's just, I don't think he can get over the Eustace Kid while playing them down in a turn. 6 lead. I guess we just rest Law here. It doesn't necessarily matter if I decide to take this hit or not. I think keeping the 2k counters in hand is probably for the better, but we already have a blocker on board for Eustace Kid anyway. And we have another one in hand here too, so that's okay. Because just in case he does have a rush unit. So there's the Dawn. There's Law. Yep, heals life, does a thing, sure. Another Cavendish, interesting. Restands 2, plays another blocker, I'd assume. Oh, he can actually. Yep. This is why I think things like Capone would be pretty good here too, because the Supernova to tank Pirate, you can cheat that out as well. Like in that situation, he could have put down a Capone instead of the Jewerly Bonney, but if he had it, you know what I mean? I think we just go 5 face, or 5 Bonney, sorry, because we need to remove this first. This should be free. And then he has no blockers on board. I'm not sure why he's contemplating on protecting this. Yep, there you go. We go 6 lead, we freeze this. So he does have Tashigi, so that leads me to believe he's using Eustace Kid as well. I could be greedy here and slap down Zoro. This could be a play. I feel safe. I do feel safe right now. He's got 3 attacks next turn, no rusher, right? Unless he plays Hody Jones. We have to smack him with Cavendish as well, just to restand Dawn. Then we can go ahead and play down a Capone, and have 1 Dawn active for Bonney effect. Let's go, boys. We'll pass it over. Zoro's going to get some play today. So how does Law get over this? If he can. Because right now we have 8k counter in hand at the very least, right? Well, 9k if we pitch the kid for the 0 cost event, but still. That's math, right? Yeah. No, it's 8k, my bad. Whatever. So there's kid. Restands extra Dawn. It's a tough choice, though. Because if we rest the kid, then he can't play down another character off the kid. But if we rest the law can't swing. And it's probably better to rest the law here as well. I know it seems a little counterproductive, just because if we rested the kid, he couldn't cheat out another body on board. But I'm not sure what he would play there that would be a blocker. That would help him out. Maybe Jewerly Bonney, perhaps? So Basil goes over life. There's Jewerly Bonney. I think we have the W here. I'm almost certain that we do. Because if she searches, he's got 1 Dawn open to attach the kid. He needs to find 2k counters at the very least here to try to go ahead and protect himself from Zoro play. And even still, I don't think that's enough. OP10 law, okay. He didn't attach Dawn to kid. That's rough. He did not attach Dawn to kid there. Maybe it doesn't matter whether or not he did or not. Because he's at 1 life, right? He still has to contend with Carrot, Cavendish, and Zoro swings on top of leader. So I'm guessing we would just attack with Zoro first, right? Into the kid. So he cheats that out. Yeah, you forgot the Dawn, buddy. But again, I don't think it matters here. Let's find out. I mean, he's got, what, 7 in hand? I don't even have to play down kid here, but we can just do it anyway. Okay. I think I did a little overkill here, to be fair. We should just went for a game, but it's okay. We'll go 6 lead. We stand extra Dawn. It really just depends on what's in his hand. If he attached Dawn to kid and we just swung into it 3 times with Zoro, would he have enough? That's really the question. Okay, so 2k counter. That's fine. This might be a little bit weird on how we do this. I'm trying to get as many cards out of hand as I can, but I needed to restand the Dawn anyway. So we'll go 9 first. We'll restand it up with Zoro. And let's say kid had the Dawn attached, right? We swing for 6. We just get the Dawn active after we already played our Eustace kid on board, right? And then we start swinging in with Zoro. Okay? So he draws 2. He has to trash 1 with the Basil Hawkins, right? And then now we have to go 9 Zoro into the 8 Eustace kid, 3 swings. I'm pretty sure we could have done it. There's Cavendish. I'll freeze that. So that was a 2k X-Drake. I kind of want to go for it. I think we're good. Oh, I forgot. He didn't attach the Dawn. Duh. Yeah, so this game. So that was 3k counter, 4k counter. All those were 1ks. He gave me a Cavendish earlier, so that's 5k counter and a Capone. So only had enough for 7k worth of counter. So I think even with the kid, it didn't matter. Because I could have just if he decided to attach the Dawn, we'd just go huge into the Zoro. If we needed to, right? Because we could have just go 12, 12, 12, I believe. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep them coming. Rapid fire. Come at you guys again with another matchup with Jewerly Bonney playing into Shanks here in OP10. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is going to be one of the very, very hard matchups for Jewerly Bonney if you don't have the right cards. So again, in this matchup, we're looking for things like 9-cost Shanks. I'm looking for 10-cost Doflamingos to be able to freeze board, to stall the game out, to be able to find the pieces I need to typically win the match. Just because the 10-cost Shanks that he drops for his top end is a lot better than mine when I'm utilizing things like Useless Kid on board, because that makes it a 7k body, right? To be fair. It didn't only take something like having Shanks on board, playing down an Otama, dropping a Ben Beckman to pop the kid, if I don't have anything on board to protect the kid, like Tashigi or like a Rosinante. But I think being able to utilize the 9-cost Shanks in this matchup is going to be our key to most of our victories if we're able to win here. And of course, whoever sees more top end, right? There's the Ben Beckman. I'll take it. Because he did not start off with a Searcher ulti, or Uta, so I don't know why I said ulti there. I don't really want to go down to 3 life so early, but we have a lot of cards in hand here. Ooh. This could be pretty good. This could be really, really good. Oh, that's my fault. My bad. My bad. I did it backwards. It's okay. It happens. I guarantee you I'm going to do this at locals as well. I needed to swing first with Cavendish to restand the Dawn, and then just restand another one with Smoker there. Because we would have been up to 6 Dawn this turn, then we could have dropped a potential Carrot just to have Carrot on board. That's my bad. But it's okay, it's fine. We'll drop this instead. Just in case he has removal for it. With Ben Beckman, you know? I know he threw one away earlier, but that leads me to believe he has another one in hand. Because otherwise, why would you? Yes, I can't rest the ace, but at least Cavendish is going to be protected for this turn. And then Smoker, on the other hand, is going to give him that he has to give me cards from hand or banish from life. There's Rayleigh, sure. 5 here. I kind of want to protect this. I know it'll force the ace to attack into me, but we just use a 0-cost event and we toss something else on board, and we can give him the Capone, or not the Capone, but the Apu and the Carrot for the ace. I think that that's going to be the play. Never mind. This is way too much. I didn't think he was going to attack with it. Unfortunate. Let's go 7 here first. Yep, makes it a 6. Gives me a 2k counter. Sure. Rayleigh is very good here in this matchup. Freeze this. I think we can go ahead and drop a 2k. Or not the 2k, but sorry, the 2-cost Rosinante here. And then we can attach Dawn with Bonney and attack. We can do it that way as well. Yep. This allows us to be safe. We can go ahead and reactivate a Dawn. And then we can play down Jewerly Bonney as well and pass turn over. Okay. This will be fun. Anyway, I do think Rayleigh is a problem here in this match. If he can chain Rayleighs back to back to back, it's very hard for us to win. Just because he gives us the cost reduction of multiple characters across the board, so things like Cavendish or Carrot or Smoker, they don't really get a lot of value here. If he's able to, you know, cost reduction. There's a Ben Beckman, that sucks. 3 Dawn open. I think he's going to want to clear Smoker on board if possible. Yep. We'll rest the leader here. Well, if we rest Ben Beckman, no, because we're just gonna kill Rayleigh anyway with Shanks, right? We'll give him that. I think the play is to kill the Rayleigh with Shanks here. because we need to get that off the map. Sorry, buddy. And then we have access to search with Bonney. And then restand at dawn. Yes, our leader couldn't swing. Ooh, we get the kid. Ooh, I can't do this video. Alright, so we get the kid, which is nice. Get a 2k Sanji out of that. Let's go 5 here. Yep, we'll rest Beckman here. Because Shanks is going to have rush regardless, right? So it doesn't really matter if we don't use leader ability here. We have to do it to rest this. Let that go. He plays Shanks down, I hope. And then he uses Shanks to run into the smoker. Nice. I assume ace first, yep. We'll counter out here. Then hopefully this will allow him to force his Shanks into my smoker. Nice. So far, so good. Because now we play down our Shanks, we pop his. Going 5 lead is kind of irrelevant here. So we can go 11. We could go 11 into ace. But that's fine. We'll try to clear Beckman. I think the reason why we can't is just because he can give our leader minus 1000 power. Then we can't really kill the ace with Bonney without him pitching cards from hand, which he should be able to protect it. Ooh, he had counter for that too. Fair, okay. So now he plays another Shanks down, and he kills our Shanks, right? 5 lead. We'll do the same thing. Apu. I mean, having the 2Ks is actually really good here. Can we get away? 6 lead. We still have enough counter in case he does have Shanks on board. So I can counter out here. And I can give him 2 more 2Ks for the Shanks if he has a way to remove it. Nice. And I need both of these Shanks on board that attempt to go for game next turn. So I have to counter out, otherwise we're probably going to lose. No way. I mean, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Because now we can take it slow, right? He still needs 4K counter for that. Nice. I guess we just go here, right? Cool. He let it go for some reason. And we'll pop that one. We'll go 5 lead. Yep. Okay. The cool thing about this is we just freeze his leader. 11. You got it. Freeze this. Or rest it, sorry. And then do we have enough? Because we go 10k with lead, right? Or 11. Yeah. We go 11 lead. And this allows us to go 13 and 13 with Shanks. Could potential Rad Beam, maybe? Nope. Okay. We just go for it. And well played. Watch double Rad Beam or something. Okay. Nice. Good job, buddy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, eventually we have to do the thing. We have to play into Blue Doflamingo, unfortunately. Thankfully, though, we haven't really seen a lot of Blue Dofis in OP10. A lot of people are trying to play around with the new cards and stuff here, so which is kind of nice. I have seen a lot of Eustace Kids and Laws and Katakuris and all that sort of thing, but Dofi, I think people are a little burnt out, you know, myself included. But what are you gonna do? So let me guess. We just rest this, and then the Law bounces both back to hand, yeah? Is this how this works? Who'd have thought? I guess Carrot, Apu, nothing real useful here. I guess we'll go 8 into law and try to remove this if we're able to. Yep. It's like, that bounce law is really, really good. Just really good. Oh well. So I guess Teach will come back on board. He will set himself up again. The same thing we've seen multiple times beforehand. He's got Buggy here, yep. 2 turns in a row he's able to do this. This is crazy. And if he sees another law, he can just rinse and repeat. So that's 2, what, 7k swings back to back? But then he doesn't get bodies on board if it's another law, because the law just comes in rested. We can attack into him again. It was 8. There it is. He's so good at this game. Alright, so I guess we'll rest this again. Sure. I can't really keep taking this abuse, though, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess so. We'll give him the carrot and then the 0 cost event. I almost clicked resolve. That was close. If we give him the 0 cost event, what do we throw away? The poo, I guess? Because that'd be 8. That makes sense. Alright. I kind of want to have a body on board here. So we'll get cards out of hand. Gave me the 2k counter. So out of the 4 that's left, 1 is a Teach. We'll freeze the law. So he has to play Teach down here, I would assume. He knows at least what the next card was, right? So we got to reshuffle these. He gets Gecko. If he decides to play Gecko back, or on board, he takes the law from trash. There's Teach. Yep. Actually, no. He can put Gecko on top of life, and then play that down with leader ability, then take the law from trash. Because that would make sense. But then he has 3 Dawn left over here. Guess he goes big. Alright. 10k lead. Yep, there's the Moria. You got it. I'll go ahead and rest the Teach again. Because we need to clear that next turn if possible. Ooh, we drew Buggy from trash instead. Interesting. So 1-2k in hand. Teach is on board unless he had another one. I think this might be greedy, because I could play down Cavendish here. Restand 2 extra Dawn, right? We could freeze a Dawn on his turn with the Bonney, or we can play down Hody Jones on board and try to clear board. I think all of these plays are valid. Freezing the Teach doesn't do anything, so I guess we clear that first, right? We can do that with Leader Swing. He's at 7 Dawn right now, goes up to 9 next turn. We drop this, we restand the Dawn. We can play down Jewerly Bonney. That's only thing we have left to do here. I'll freeze a Dawn, because that'll put him back on 8 Dawn curve for next turn, instead of 9. So I think we can clear a lot of the cards that are on board now. At least to Teach. And then we can take the carrot, attack into Law or Gecko, then freeze one or the other. And it's probably better to clear the Law here. We'll freeze that. We'll get the Buggy out of hand, sure. Now he has 2 attackers this turn. Alright. Yeah, I sure saw that coming. That's fine. It's my bad. That's my bad. We'll take that. I guess it's better than dropping the Hody, going down to 2 life, and then potentially going down to 1 here with the amount of attacks that he has on board. Because he would have had more Dawn to spend to swing, swing, swing. Alright, 3 cards left. 5 here. We'll try again. Okay, so that's gone. Now we can play down your boy. And he can't Red Rock me, because we have Tashigi. So now he's in trouble. Because we have the counter in hand here, if we have to, we can pitch the kid for the 0 cost event, and then we have a 2k counter as well. Even with the red rock here, he needs to have removal for the kid. So there's the Tashigi back to hand, sure. He put back what? Sengoku? Okay. I'd assume he plays Sengoku down. Nope. Weevil. Okay. Interesting play. We could be a little aggressive here. Go down to 1. We have the kid, so we can play down the Tashigi again with the kid effect, and therefore he can't remove it. So we don't have to worry about that. Let's go 6 here first. There's the Sengoku. I think Hody should have to clear the Jozu, if possible, but we might be able to use Kid for that. Because Kid can swing into Jozu for 9, right? Yeah, we can go 9 into Jozu. Or... I don't think that's worth it, really. I think we have to clear this. Okay. We pass it over. I don't want to give him an extra card here. Because he still has to find a way around the kid. So he'll still need to attach Don here, that we can rest the other one. I think we're fine. It was definitely a greedy play, but we had to remove the Jozu there. Yep. You know what? Let's protect Kid here. This might be a little crazy. A lot of crazy. But I think this is fine. Okay. We get a Capone. Pretty solid hand. We clear this first. Nice. And now we start the beatdown. Because as long as we have a Tashigi, we can protect our kid from the red rock, and we should be alright. Yep. Put him down to 3 here. We can play a second kid on board, which isn't bad. Right? We can actually play all of these down. Realistically. Well, no, I guess we can't do that. So perhaps we just Kid and Tashigi here. Or we go Tashigi and Capone, and we'll pass it over that way. We'll save the Kid just in case he's able to remove this one. And now we have a blocker and a protector as well. And then the following turn we should be able to put him to 0 life depending on what he plays on board here. So I think if we would have played the other kid down, we wouldn't have enough Dawn to attach to both kids and then leave a Dawn open for Bonney effect. Just in case he had a way of playing down another Jozu here, popping Tashigi back to hand, and then going into the kid with the remaining Dawn. And then that would have forced the Tashigi out of hand to guard out from a 9 to a 10k. There's a Jozu. Yeah, because we knew he had that off the leader ability, right? Kicks that to hand. Rest this. He knew the boa was there due to the buggy effect. So he's swinging at 8. And then now we either give him the Capone or we give him the 2k counter. He didn't have the red rock previously, right? So I think giving him the 2k is the right thing to do here. Whereas the Capone we probably need for later. No matter what, we have to protect him one way or the other. And it's probably better just to give him the 2k counter. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because if we guard out with the Capone here, right, or he does, like, Gravity Blade next turn, we just lose out on 2 extra bodies and the one in hand. I mean, it's not bad. I think we clear board here. I don't need to go super aggressive. We know he doesn't have the red rock, so... It's just, if I go 7 with Bonney into him, or do we just go 9 into Jozu? That's a Moria. It's a 6 lead, 2k counter. This might be super greedy. But I think we have to try to clear this. Yeah, you had the 2k. That sucks. Alright, that's fine. We'll drop another one. I think we'll give it to the rested one already. Then we'll pass turn over. I'll leave up the Dawn just so we can rest the Jozu. Or the leader here. I think he'll attack with leader first. So now this way, if he had red rock, he spends the red rock to remove the kid. He does a damage with Doflamingo, then we rest the Jozu. We would still have Hody, Eustace Kid on board, and Bonney lead swing. So we can clear the Jozu back, play down another Eustace Kid. I think we'd have been fine either way if he had red rock there or not. So Kid's gone. I was hoping for another Hody Jones. What can we get here? 2k counter. That's pretty much it. I guess we can take another Searcher. Let's do the other Searcher. I'm looking for a blocker of some sort. Oof. I mean, Hawkins does work. But I can't play him this turn. So we have him for later. If we survive that long. Because this way we have to kill the Jozu first. And still have the kid for leftovers. I remove this. Go 5 lead. Sure. 8 lead. I'm not sure why he didn't take that attack, but I guess we'd put him to 1 if he decided to, so maybe that's what it was. We'll pass it over here. But he did lose the Perona, so that does kind of suck, I think. I think the kids have been our saving grace in this matchup as usual. Him not finding the red rocks or ways to remove this or have bodies on board to attack into it heavily is really stopping him from winning the game. I mean, he got it this time. But it's okay. He doesn't know we have a third one. There's Jinbei. So that must be an event in hand. Or like another Jozu or something. Because I can either search with Bonnie's, or we can play down another Eustace Kid. Which is probably our better bet. Ooh, pudding. If we double search, we can drop down Basil Hawkins, right? We have the Dawn to rest the Jinbei or the leader for the next turn. And then we get maybe counter off searches, or maybe blockers off searches. If we slap Kid down, it's just more beneficial to us, because you can't get around it. We play nothing, and then we pass it over. Because he has to attach Dawn heavily to remove this, or still have the red rock. And it's kind of cool because we checked this man 3 times with 3 Eustace Kids and then no rocks at all, so That's a good game. Well played, man. Good job. You know, I think this is going to be another deck that I might be looking forward to playing in O10. I think Perona is another sleeper pick that people are not expecting or ready to play against. With her getting access to the Tashigis as well as the Smoker and some of the new cards that are coming out for green, she might be a little bit relevant here, or at least being able to have some sort of removal into the metagame. I think she's pretty good into decks like Teach, especially considering she has access to the 10-drop Kaido. She can arrest the Burgess and stuff and be okay. But maybe. I'll have to play around with her and see how I feel about it. I think she'd still be like a sleeper deck. Let's go 6 here. I think Cavendish is really good in this matchup. Because she needs to have cost reduction first, and then be able to arrest me and pop me with Ryuma. Which is nice. Sometimes I think that 5 cost is a sweet spot here. How does she remove this? Alright, there it is. Brook, I assume? Yep. Not bad. I mean, that was a lot of pieces, so I'll take that. Hey, we got another one. We also got Hody Jones here as well. Let's be a little aggressive here. Yeah, we need to remove the Brook here. We'll go 5 into Bart. And then we'll just run 8 into Brook. And if for some reason Hody survives, we're cooking. If he survives. We have quite a bit of defensive counter here and blockers in hand, so we should be able to do it. But if she's able to clear it, you know, it might be an uphill battle. We'll see. She's at 8 Dawn. She definitely has the means to do so. And all it takes right now is an Ice Age and a Ryuma to pop me, so... So 7 lead. Is that 6 left? Interesting. Okay, I won't take this hit. But she's got 4 Dawn open. We'll give him one of the Rosinantes. I think Carrot's going to be very valuable here. Okay, so we're at 9. I think we drop down a Cavendish, and then we play into a Carrot. 1 Dawn open. We'll freeze the Hina. I'll go 5 lead. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have waited. I should have just played Cavendish down and then attacked for 5, and maybe she would have arrested Borsalino, but this is okay too. I don't see her attacking with him, more so than I see her attacking with the Hina. She takes the damage. That's fine. That is a Shirahoshi over there, boys. Interesting. I actually really like the idea of that. It's a blocker, gives that cost reduction on play. Pretty solid. We got rid of 1 Brook so far, which at this point in the game I don't think it matters, 'cause I think we're winning it. She could still see Dofi, you know, Kaido, all of the big boys, but we have a decent board ourselves. Shirahoshi, sure. Rest is it as well. Freeze it. Okay. I like that. That was pretty good. What do we do? We'll play Hody. I mean, that's our only option now, right? We drop Hody, Rip Life. We rest the Carrot. And then we'll rest the Shirahoshi. Gives me a 2k. Interesting. So we'll keep the Hina frozen. If we drop the Hody in play, we can try clearing board here. Because everything else in our hand is going to be like 2k counter related. I think Bonney is too expensive to play down on top of the Hody. Because that's 9, right? Yeah. Well, boom and boom. If she wants to give me the Borsellino, that's totally fine. But I think she'll probably give me cards from hand and or the Shirahoshi first. We'll go 6 here. Alright, there's a 2K, and now we just clear them. I'm going to run everything into Carrot first. Nice. We'll play it on a Beji, we'll pass it over. So Hina is still frozen. Hasn't really done anything since the first turn she's played it, which is nice. We got 8k worth of counter plus a 0 cost event in hand here. I don't think there's a way that she can get out of this. We haven't seen any samurais, we haven't seen any Ryumas here. We've seen a lot of 2k counters, it looks like. There's a Ryuma, pops the Cavendish. That's fine. You still have to deal with 2 Hodies on play. Blocker, passes it over. Smart, because we just rest the Borsellino if that's the case. I think we can go for game here, realistically. I think we can. Oof. Can't really take anything here besides the 2k counter, which kind of sucks. So that's all of our top end right here. And sometimes these searches really be like that. Okay. That might have been greedy, but it's okay. I guess we'll just go 7 face and force the card out of hand here. 8, sorry. Then force the card out of hand. Because now we can do 8 Hody, 8 both Hodies, and then 8 with leader as well. And that gives us enough Dawn to play over Rosinante on board. Okay. Yep. We'll replace the Bonney here. And good game. Nice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably play a couple more games after this one, and then we'll dive back into the deck list, and then I'll be working on Kid for the next video, in which I'm very excited to play around with Eustace Kid, man. It's been a while. Actually, to be fair, I don't think there's been a Kid deck that I've been interested in playing outside of the OG green, so... Thankfully, he's yellow, and I very much favor a lot of the yellow cards in One Piece right now, so it should be a lot of fun to play around with that. Either way, let's go 5 lead. We'll drop down a Capone, we'll pass the turn over. I think in this scenario, if he wants to attack into Jewerly Bonney, that's totally cool. We'll give him the blocker here to keep Bonney on board for at least one more turn. Because if she can search out... maybe another Eustace Kid or a Jewerly Bonney, I think we're chilling. Okay, so Mihawk into Zoro. I like that. I haven't seen a lot of laws that are utilizing the Mihawk play. It's pretty good. Because that guarantees you turn 2 to be able to play down Mihawk on top of something else to reach your leader ability. Ooh, we actually got a Jewerly Bonney, Cavendish, and a Capone. Capone could be useful to protect the Jewerly Bonney play, but then he has, what, 2 more attacks? So I think she'll die regardless. If we take the Bonney, that's a potential for us to freeze something on board or stop his Dawn curve, which is nice, especially when he wants to play Law down. Alright, let's go 5 here. This will just get cards out of hand. Yep, we'll pass it over. In this matchup, I try to starve Law. I don't typically like going for life unless I have no other choice, but mainly I'm trying to remove characters off board as fast as possible. This will just force him to give me cards out of hand or let the characters go. If he does let the characters go, it slows down his leader ability. Which in hindsight is not really hard for him to utilize, you know what I mean? But still. he's at 6 here. He's going to clear Bonney no matter what. So he's either going to attack Bonney with the Zoro or leader. If he attacks with Mihawk, then we just rest one of the other two. So I think he has to try to clear this with Zoro. Interestingly enough. And it's better to do that before he plays anything on board. Alright, 5 into Bonney. I'll rest lead, and we'll let this one go. So now he has to attach Dawn to Mihawk to swing at face. Cavendish, sure. Bonney. So he gets the search off, I imagine, yep. He gets himself a Jewerly Bonney as well. Goes 5 lead. Does not do leader ability. Okay. Would be a shame if someone cleared board here. We're gonna drop Hody. We're gonna rest Cavendish. And then we're gonna clear board. Sometimes it be what it be. This might feel a little awkward, but we're going to go 6k with Cavendish first, just so we can restand 2 more Dawn. We'll run into Zoro. Yeah. I could have removed the Mihawk. Oh, he didn't have counter for that. Okay, crazy. Never mind, we're chilling. Because we just go 6 into Mihawk here, and then run Hody into Cavendish, and leave him up with Bonney. And now we have 1 Dawn left. Nice. So far, so good. Now he has to rebuild the board. Okay, so we got Law Blocker, I believe. That's what that is. Which is fine. Because I think in this situation, yeah, he puts Law over here. Oh no, sorry, he reveals the Law. That's actually really good, to be fair. He did no bounces. 7 to Cavendish. Interesting. I will rest the Law. And then I will guard out for Cavendish here. I need to kind of have him on board. So we'll give him the 2k counter. We'll rest the Law. And then next turn we can play down Carrot. Which in hindsight, Carrot will freeze the Law. And then we'll just go from there. And Hody is frozen from Jewerly Bonney, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. Not bad. Another Rosinante. I don't think we need it right now, but still. It would have been nice to see anything else, I think. We'll freeze this. Hody can't swing. We smack him with 6 with Cavendish. We stand extra Dawn. Oh, okay. I guess he didn't like that. Oh well. I'll be fair, I haven't seen a Yamato in a very, very long time. And that's including myself playing it. I haven't seen Yamato at locals either. Very, very interesting. I do know Yamato does get a bunch of new stuff here in OP10. Not necessarily for Wanu, but cards that Yamato can utilize. So that will be coming to the channel here very soon. I'm gonna try my best. We'll see what happens. I do think the nature of the deck doesn't change all too much. We still keep some of the staples that we typically are utilizing. Toniyasu, the 2-cost Nami, you know, the typical stuff, but we've gained access to a few new things. I think Fortress Yamato could be a thing here as well. Just like back in the day, but we'll see. Let's kill this. That feeling where I toss a 2k counter on board against this matchup just to pop a Yasuo is crazy. Gonna block her down. But, you know, playing Bonney with all these blockers, feeling a little bit of confident, I think we can do that and get away with it. I think we can. We'll see. I do typically like to take as many hits as I can, or enough hits where I'm still safe. As long as they don't have Banish on them, I don't mind. A lot of the time, anyway. What do we do here? We're just going to go 7 lead. I think that's okay. We get a double Hody. Not what I wanted to see. It's actually kind of rough. I was hoping to see like a Basil Hawkins or a Eustace Kid or something. and then we draw into a shank. So 3 non-counter cards back to back to back. That's rough. So it looks like next turn he might be gearing up for the Yamato Banish with Yasu. So we'll see. Can I get one hit in? Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get a trigger. Maybe. I hope not. But if a Kikunojo hits that board, we might be a little bit cooked. I think we can play Smoker down here. Because Carrot's not going to get any value. We can't freeze anything, right? There's a 2k counter. Yeah, I think we'll play Smoker where we stand a Dawn. And then Smoker will guarantee cards out of hand unless Yamato wants to lose the triggers here with the Banish effect. Okay, burns life. I'll take that. Sure. Oof. I cannot take this hit, that's for sure. Because that means it just needs one Hody to go for face. And Hody comes in, swings for 10k, and then I might be cooked. So. But hey, now I can play Carrot down. We play Carrot, we freeze the Robin on board. And then I need Rosinante here as well. Can I get lucky? Okay, so we banish a 5-cost Nami. Or 2-cost Nami, that's really good. I think we should play 2-cost Rosinante first. Then we can go 5. Just in case we get something off life here. Kikunojo. Not what I wanted to see. We pretty much have no counter in hand. 4k. Not a lot. At least against this deck. Yep. 5 open. Attaches 2 here. Interesting. Because if you swing, we just rest the Yamato. Remember, he used the rested Dawn anyway, so it's okay. But gives that banish. So he's going to swing with Yamato first. We'll rest the Kikunojo here. We have just enough counter as well. It might have looked weird, but I think he had to play it in that way. So. Two life left. Can we afford to drop Hody here and then just try to clear board? Or do we just go face? Because if we go 7, we get the banish off, right? Maybe. Okay, no we don't. Carrot will freeze either or that's on board here. Which isn't bad. I mean, that's fine, right? Because we have Rosie on board to protect them in case something happens here. Okay. I think we're good. I think we just won. That's math, right? We go 7 here and drop Hody Jones and go win. Or go for the win. Okay. We'll rest. We'll restand the Dawn, just in case. Then we'll go 9k lead. And GG. Nice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably play maybe 2 or 4 games after this one. Somewhere between there, give or take. And then we'll dive back into the deck list here. We're coming at you guys with Jewerly Bonney, playing into Uta and OP10. In which I think Uta does also have access to nothing, really. She didn't really gain a bunch of new cards at all. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. The deck itself is already really, really good. Being able to have a lot of bodies on board can really hurt Bonney, in a way. Already have 2 bodies down, so... I mean, I only can rest 1, right? And 9 out of 10 times I'm going to rest the leader just because I'm invincible is pretty good. But, we'll see. Yep. Want to get down Smoker here early. We stand the Dawn, we'll pass it over. We don't have Cavendish here, so... And I also think Smoker's pretty good in this matchup. Oof. No matter what, this is going to have 6k power, right? And I think being able to attack into the 5 versus the 6 is a little bit easier to deal with. We'll give you a 2k. Where's the Nami at? I know you got one. Okay, there's Genesis. Gets a 7-drop Luffy. There's the Nami. Yep. 2k Sanji. Maybe swing 7 here. Yep. You got it. Perfect timing, actually. Because if we math, they go to 8 next turn, right? So if we play Jewerly Bonney down, we freeze a Dawn. Therefore, they only have 7 Dawn. They just drop down the 7-drop Luffy here. That way, they don't have enough Dawn to put under their leader. Unless Luffy plays down the Uta from hand. I mean, it seems like a good play. Because otherwise, we just drop down Carrot here, that will freeze a character on board. So, this swing should at least get cards from hand. I'd imagine. Then we can go 5 into Brook. Okay, so there's the Sanji and a Katakuri. Go 5 here. We know one of those cards is Luffy. No counter. I think we should do it. I think we should play down Bonnie. We'll freeze the Dawn. And then we'll have a Dawn left over for leader ability here. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if we were stand Dawn here or not. Interestingly enough, we could have swung 7 into Brook just to guarantee it. This is risky. Yeah, this is very risky. But I guess just in case of backlight. I do think they're going to play the Luffy, though. But just in case of backlight here. 5 here. Sorry about Discord, that was me. Not you. Give you the carrot. If they don't spend, they didn't spend. So they are going to play Luffy here. We have to take at least one of these hits. Because Katakuri is going to swing for, what, 6? Get a Capone. He might swing for 7 if they have the Uta. They do have the Uta. You're so cool. So he swings for 6. We'll give you the 2k. 4 left in hand. We got the Doflamingo here, which is pretty huge. I need to keep chipping away at board, I think. Go 5 into Nami. Yep. I was hoping to get maybe a Luffy block there, just in case we wanted to drop down Shanks to pop the Luffy. But that might have been the incorrect play. Maybe. How about now? Maybe Luffy in 1k? I can't kill it this time. Luffy and Sanji. That's 2 2k counters. Interesting. I guess she wants to use the Luffy to guard out for the Smoker. But joke's on you. Yep. Regardless, she was going to do it anyway. Alright, we'll play down Hawkins. We'll drop down a Capone, and we'll pass it over. This should be pretty good. We can restand an extra Dawn. There's no point, though. Like, there's really no point. But, yeah. Let's go 5 into this. Super risky. Because now if she decides to backlight something, Tashigi can't save it. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Seven lead, draws a brook. I'll rest this. 8 Dawn left. We get another Bonney. Does she have I'm Invincible? Luffy into Uta again. Goes 7. We have to guard here, I think. We can guard with Hawkins and just give him the Bonney out of hand. Okay, another 2k counter. Maybe we should have guarded with the Beji there. Does I need something if I want to play down like Doflamingo here to freeze? Cards out of hand, please. Yep. I mean, we'll try it again, that's fine. Just let it go. Oh boy. This is not what I wanted. I kind of want to attach Dawn, but if we put Dawn up on anything, we can't drop Dofi here. I think the correct play is to play Dofi, freeze the 3, and then potentially be able to guard out with Hawkins and Capone. Because if we play Shanks, we just pop the Luffy and then she does 3 damage to face. Perhaps. Kind of a tough situation. I think Dofi's the correct play. We'll pass it over. It was either get rid of the Tashigi or get rid of the Bonney on board. Bonney is kind of another swinger for us here, so I think we kind of need her. The Tashigi protected me against backlights. So I think that was a better play. I'm Invincible, sure. Goes 9 to lead. I don't think I can take this hit, just in case she draws another one. There's a backlight. She would. I mean, let's do it again. Attacking here really doesn't matter, right? We can just clear board. Let's go 5 lead. Sure. We gotta poke eventually, right? 6 here. Maybe this will get the card out of hand. Nope. I'm gonna go 10 into the other one. Okay. Nami. Watch her get another I'm Invincible here. Imagine. Please don't. 2, 4, 6. 6k counter. Okay, so they get New Genesis. Which doesn't really help. So they get Katakuri off that. Kata hits the board. Uta's probably feeling pretty safe right now. Until we draw a Hody Jones. Come on. Swing at me with Luffy. You won't. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, sure, why not? There's the kid. Now I think we're super safe with Eustace Kid. Because we have the counter in hand. So we just start poking. If she wants to guard out with Luffy, so be it. And then we just go 10-10. Would have put her to the 1. We have the counter in hand with the kid to protect us against the I'm invincible. Yep. Do we push? Probably not. Play the kid. She shouldn't have removal for Eustace Kid here, so I think we're fine. Let's go ahead and do this, and we won't play down Tashigi. I think it's better to have the Tashigi in hand for the 2k counter. There's no way she can remove this. And then we're good. We should be golden. Very tough game so far. I think it's with the amount of attackers that she has each and every turn and the blockers, it's a little bit harder for me to get through them. I don't think she can pick up the W here. Unless there's something that I'm missing. Because even Hody wouldn't help her, right? So. Even last turn, Hody wouldn't have helped. We have all the 2k counters that we need. 8. What do you find? Get Shanks. She has Film Shanks here. Which would have been tragedy, really, if she decided to play Shanks this turn to pop the kid. Give you a 2k. Yep, sure. Doesn't really matter here. We'll guard out. She gets down 2 extra blockers, so 3 blockers on board. No Hody. Can't believe we got through this whole game without seeing a Hody Jones. And really, I don't think it matters here. We just have to go 7, basically. Sure. Yep. 2 blockers up. If we swing 9, we get the Gordon. Good game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last one for the day. Then we'll dive back into the deck list at the end of the video. I was going to play maybe like 2 more games, give or take, but this is already running quite long. Normally my videos are anywhere from like an hour plus, so I think if we slap in 2 more games, it might be like an hour and a half and some change. It's a lot more. But I do want to get in some Eustace Kid here and see what we can cook up. But either way, we're going to dive into this last game playing against Shanks as Jewerly Bonney in OP10 and see what we can do. Our hand is pretty cracked for this matchup, not going to lie. Ooh, take the Cavendish here. We'll go 6 lead. What you got? Okay. Let me get that 1k. I'll take yes up. Appreciate that. Now he has to remove the Bonney here. Because then next time we go to 5 to play Cavendish down, we get a search off and have 1 Don left over. So, yep, that's a given. Interestingly enough, he didn't play anything there. A little weird. We'll go 6 lead. I try to be as aggressive as I possibly can in this matchup when I have top end cards. So when I have something in my hand, I'm always trying to mulligan for something in this matchup that's going to allow me to prolong the late game or at least survive. In which Doflamingo does help in that scenario, and Shanks, of course, is one of my big win conditions in this matchup. If I can get down a Zoro, that'd be great too, but hey, eats their own. Okay. I'm not sure why you gave us a Beckman for that. Gave us minus 1k, played Beckman for the 1k counter. Interesting. Chopper. I'll rest this. I don't know why he played that first instead of, you know, but okay. A little weird. I think we want to clear this no matter what. And yes, I did remember, okay, to make sure we smack with Cavendish first, then Smoker ability. Like I said, I think I'm going to do that on paper too, so we'll go 7 here. Gives me the minus 2k counter, interesting. Restand the Dawn, and we'll go 8 into this. Yep, we'll pass turn. So far, so good. I haven't run into many Shanks that have been utilizing the 4-cost Chopper blocker, but, you know, pretty good. Sure, pop Cavendish. Goes 5 lead, we'll rest the Rayleigh. Right into curve, by the way. We can take this hit. Tashigi, because now we can play down Shanks to pop the Rayleigh on board. And then there's nothing he can do about it. Because we go into 9 Dawn this turn, which is nice, because we're at 7. And then perhaps he plays Shanks down next turn to attack into my Smoker, maybe. Let's see. Let's remove this first. We'll restand a Dawn. We'll go 5 lead. Actually, I guess it really doesn't matter here, right? Because he's going to -1 regardless. Yep. Sure. Okay. So now he's at 10 Dawn. So there's Shanks. Sure. Our rest leader. And then we should be looking good here, because we have another 9-cost Shanks in hand that we can pop his Shanks with. Go 5 lead first. Nice. So he played that well. Well, he played it the way I wanted him to do it. Now we can go 11 lead. Okay. So what does he do now? There's Uta. Gets Building Snake. Okay. I wonder what the other choices were. I mean, no? Because we have the counter, so we might as well just do it. I want him to play down Shanks at some point and try to run that into it. Maybe. He's got all these cards in hand. He needs to actually be using this as a, you know, blockers on board, giving me counter. There's no way he didn't have anything to play there, and that was his best move, just to try to clear Shanks. That seemed a little interesting. Because now I can be very, very aggressive. He didn't play any blockers down. If he minuses me here, we go down to 7. He still needs to give me 3k counter. And then we just pressure with the rest of my Shanks. Okay, 2k. Unless he has no top in at all in hand, or any other characters he actually could have played there. Drop Rosie, Tashigi, and Beji, and we'll pass it over. That's a board, ladies and gentlemen. That is a board state. I don't think he knows yet, man. He can't remove Shanks without removing the Tashigi first. So he's got 8 Dawn left, which gives him an option of dropping a Rayleigh down to pop the Tashigi. Okay. He's got Marco in hands. He can't kill with Marco, so he'd have to bin Beckman me. Which Beckman can only kill the Tashigi here. Good game, man. Well played. I think it was whoever saw the most top end this time around, because we had quite a bit, and we still have 2 more Dofis left in hand here. And sometimes these matchups kind of go like this when it comes to Shanks. Whoever sees most top end kind of wins a lot of the times. Fair enough. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. We got to play with the leader, in which we typically don't here on the channel. I had a lot of fun with Jewerly Bonney. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy this leader going forward. Bonney, again, will be very, very good as long as they keep printing out decently good green cards on top of her leader ability. Going into OP10, I will probably be sticking to Bonney and perhaps Smoker for these upcoming regional events and these bigger events here for OP10 metagame. Now, I have put Enel on the back burner for a little bit. I played Enel towards the end of OP08 and all through OP09. So I'm a little bit burnt out, if you will, when it comes to this leader. There's not a whole lot that this deck can utilize and build around right now. They're pretty much all the same until EBO2 comes out and we gain access to the brand new 10 cost Enel. Not saying this is going to put this deck, you know, over the top tiers or anything, but he'll be a lot of fun, to be fair. With that being said, there are some other decks in which I am interested in playing in OP10, such as Eustace Kid, Law, and maybe a little bit of Yamato here and there, but mainly just these 5 decks going forward. I have also put Katakuri on the back burner for obvious reasons. He's not doing so great. He did gain access to some new cards, being the 8 cost Eustace Kid, some Robin, the 6 cost Robin that allows you to burn life. He is pretty good in the current metagame, just not necessarily like a tier 2 deck by any means necessary, but each their own. Now, Bonney, on the other hand, this is one of my favorite decks to play right now. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. If you guys are interested in playing Bonney, do look out for more Bonney content. That's going to come a little bit further into the channel. Now, to talk about the deck here. I think I have some changes I want to make to it, personally. Like I said, it's going to depend on my local scene and what people are going to be running here in OP10 metagame. Whether or not I see more Blackbeard players and stuff, I will be utilizing more Zoros. I think this card is very, very strong, especially going into that matchup. And I get it. Blackbeard is very hard to deal with, but being able to chain 2 10-cost teaches back-to-back kind of feels like, now what do I do, right? How do I beat this? Zoro might be our answer. And with the new upcoming ban list, I think it's like next week, give or take, who's to say that, you know, Blackbeard doesn't get a little bit of tune down or decks get changed around and all that sort of thing. Zoro could be going forward. This is also very strong into yellow and all that sort of thing, so very good into some of the other decks like Usopp. They have to have the red rock to remove it, and unfortunately, through my testing all week, I kid you not, I've run into 0 Usopps as Jewerly Bonney, and I couldn't be happier. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a very strong deck, very hard to deal with as a Bonney, especially with all the removal. So if we're not ready for it with the Tashigis and the Rosinantes, very hard deck to get around. But outside of that, I do hope to run into some more Usopps here so I can get some playtesting done. I think this leader is very, very strong in the current format, but you know, that's another video. Now, when it comes to changes, like I mentioned, I want to increase Zoro in this deck a little bit more often. I think I'm gonna take out a Jewerly Bonney here, go down a little bit of Capones, and maybe, just maybe, remove 10 cost Doflamingo altogether. I haven't decided fully yet. Like I said, it's going to depend whether or not how many Blackbeards I'm going to start running into as of late. I do think, again, Zoro is very, very staple. He's very strong in the current format, not only against Blackbeard, but a bunch of other decks in the current format as well. Being able to get Zoro down and slap on like a Tashigi the following turn or Rosinante here makes this card very scary. But I do think Shanks has a place here, and I think just because you are going to be running up against Red Shanks and some of the other top tier meta decks in the format, this is a very good card to play around with right now. Because not only are you going to be playing into Bonney decks, which utilize Eustace Kid, but you also will be playing into Smoker decks, which also utilizes Eustace Kid, and Shanks helps you in removing that, or at least getting rid of the pieces on board, like the Rosinantes and Tashigis here, to have a chance at removing Kid. But overall, I've had a lot of fun with this deck list. These are just some of the changes in which I thought about playing around with here. I do hope you guys leave your comments and your thoughts, down below. That way we can talk about it. Hop in the Discord, come tell me I suck. It is what it is. This has been Jewerly Bonney for you. Remember to smash that like button so we can get these videos floating around. And I will catch you guys in the very next one. Good luck in Dallas if you guys are heading out there. If not, I will see you guys at locals and or the next regional event. Stay safe out there. See y'all later.